What's up, everybody? You are back on the other side with me, Mike G, where we dig deeper than the punches and wins. We uncover the fight behind the fighter. Today's guest is no exception. With grit in his blood and determination in his eyes, he has carved his path through hardship and doubt, straight into the ring with nothing but fire in his soul. He has turned pain into purpose and scars into strength. Fans of the other side, it is truly my honor to introduce to you today the Aztec warrior, Anthony Yost. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? And what's up, man? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I am doing awesome. I got through that without stumbling once, I think.
Not bad. Not bad. And another thing too, since we started with it is I know like on BKFC, the app, and then on my Tapology it says the Aztec Warrior. My fight name is actually the Devil's Advocate.
I saw that somewhere, and I just went with the BKFC one because I figured
you're not the only one. There's people like they ask me at the events, like the Aztec Warrior, right? I'm like, no. I was like, it's because at one point, now I can hit you with a cool little story in the beginning here for that little bit. Is my whole career when I was 16, I lost my first fight, and then I went 3-0. So I went 3-1 and got offered my first title fight. At the time, I didn't have a fight name, but my mom, I'm not a real religious person like we talked about, you know what I'm saying, is but my mom is, and I guess she said in the Bible that the Devil's Advocate is the one that gets to come up and decide if you're good enough to go to the top or you're going to the bottom, is the way I understood it. And in fight terms is if you want to be the best, you got to go through me. I make I am the deciding factor of if you're worth being the champion or not. So that's because I got offered my first title fight, and that's kind of where the Devil's Advocate originated.
I think I saw that on Tapology and just thought the BKFC was probably the safest bet.
Yep, and there's that. And then because I went through part of my career, my whole MMA career, and then towards the end of it, I was pro. I was kind of trying to find myself. I didn't know who I was. I was still just a young dude, not taking the right path that needed, like as a professional athlete should have been to be an athlete. So I was like, I'm gonna try something new, change my fight name to the Aztec Warrior. Got knocked the fuck out in Hawaii, and then kind of like retired after that. But I had one more fight, and after that I was like, well, I'm just gonna go back to the Devil's Advocate, and I knocked that dude out, and then I retired for 4 years and then came back as the Devil's Advocate.
Nice.
Yeah, the Aztec Warrior was like a one and done type of thing. It was just, it's a cool thing because I thought it was a good idea because I did do like the ancestry test and all that stuff. And my bloodline, my mom's side, 33% of me is from here, from Mexico, Texas. And we go back into our bloodline, and they go back to like the Aztecs and, you know.
Okay. Hey, if I hadn't have messed it up, we wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, so that was a cool little story to start off the pod. Man, I was like, yeah, but my mom gave me my fight name, and then I tried that, like I said, and then I got put to sleep in Hawaii. And that one you will not find that one online. That one was recorded. My wife was in the corner, and I have it on my Facebook somewhere, but that one you just can't find anywhere. But yeah, that one sucks.
Alrighty. Man, take me back to the very beginning. What was life like for you growing up? Family life, maybe, and what kind of kid were you?
Family life. Up until I was about 11 or 12, I was over at my grandma's a lot, my man. From what just like home videos, because back then I grew up with home videos. You know, like my life was kind of recorded. So I grew up in my grandma's quite a bit till about 11 or 12, and then she passed away. And then I remember just kind of at that point, I think it was 11 or 12. So about a year later, I got introduced to skateboarding. So me and my friends I got my first skateboard in 6th grade, and I was just that kid that it was just me and my friends, man. That's what I did growing up for basically my childhood. You know, I just skateboarded with the boys, hung out with the boys as much as possible. And the crazy thing is, we're still friends today. Like awesome. We've been friends since elementary school. I still talk to them guys, man, and so I did that for many years. And when I was 15, I still skated till I was 18, but when I was 15, I got introduced into MMA, and that was kind of just my life. That's what it's been since then, my man. 2009, I had my first fight, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
2009. Wow. Let's see here. let's talk about your MMA career.
Yeah.
I've read different numbers, and obviously, based off the intro, that this could be inaccurate. But I read that you had 16 MMA fights somewhere, and then somewhere else said 5.
Them things are wild. I started my career so long ago that there was no commission in Iowa
Okay.
at the time. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if anybody during mine and Chachi's fight, love Chachi. Shout out Chachi. Good dude.
Yeah.
But I did talk my shit at the beginning of it. And in one of the posts, because he did the same thing. He looked it up. People look online and it says that. But I got all the footage of every one of my fights except for one, which irritates the shit out of me because it was it was one of my biggest fights at the time at a casino. And they told us we couldn't record it and that we were going to get footage. And then they never fucking gave it to us. Me and my opponent were so mad, man, because I dropped the guy in the first round. And then like he came back and beat me. But it was just it was my final fight before I took a year break. But yeah, it's see where I got confused there where we were going with that one.
I had asked you first of all how many fights you had in MMA.
Yep, got off track there, but yeah, it's in my post. I have my amateur MMA record. My real amateur MMA record is 8 wins, 12 losses, and 1 draw.
Okay.
And then I had a few kickboxing fights. Nothing really important. I think I had 3 of them. For like they're up north, there's this promoter, Rick Tasler. He does like fundraiser shows where like he'll throw it at like a parking lot at a small town bar in Iowa, and like he'd just get a bunch of people together. The pros would grapple, and then people would kickbox for free just to try to raise a little bit of money or just throw something like that. So I had like a few of them, and then my pro MMA record is 2-3.
Okay. I think that's what I saw on Tapology.
Yeah, so 12-1 as an amateur, and then 2-3 as a pro.
Okay.
But I don't really my pro, like even in my only pro win was against the same guy, and he was like 0-9 and 0-10. You know what I mean? He fought some tough cats, but like it wasn't super. Like my MMA career wasn't anything. You know what I mean? I did travel a lot, and I was young, and I did some crazy cool things and met some cool people. But like I wasn't just like this outstanding martial artist. I just didn't take it as seriously as I should have.
Gotcha. Do you miss MMA at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes do you see yourself maybe doing a one-off somewhere?
Maybe down the road I'll do maybe like something like that. But if I do anything, I really just like the jiu-jitsu. I don't like the competing aspect of the MMA, like that portion of it. I don't miss that at all.
Right.
But I do miss jiu-jitsu. I don't do it as much at all really anymore, because I should, but I'm so focused on trying to one craft at a time.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I do Muay Thai 3 times a week, and I help teach Muay Thai and stuff like that. But I really solely focus just on my time goes to strength and conditioning and being the best bare knuckle, because it's different than boxing and MMA. So I'm trying to be the best bare knuckle fighter I can be. But I do miss it, man. I do miss my boys. There's this guy here in town named Derek over at Kazushi. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Bunch of jiu-jitsu school full of fucking little guys, man. I miss them guys. I do.
Awesome. All right. Is there a particular fight maybe or moment from your MMA career that stands out as your favorite?
Yes. I would have to say I'm going to give you a couple of them.
Okay.
For different reasons. I would my first one would have to be it was the one I found out who I was and what's for the first time that I think every man in this world should experience, and that's an ass kicking, like a real life fucking ass kicking. I was 16 and I actually posted a clip of it again with the mine and Chachi's thing, but the whole video I'll have to maybe I'll go tag you in it. It's an old one and it's gonna be the shittiest quality, man, but I'll go back on my Facebook and make sure I tag you in it so you can see it. But I was I was 16. That. I took the fights on probably a 2-hour notice. Back then we did walk-in shows. So like they would make posters of the event, and anybody, if you wanted to fight, you show up. Like I said, no commission back then. And I actually fought for a UFC vet, Travis Fulton. He's actually known as the guy with the most MMA fights ever as a pro. But he was my first promoter. So I had a close connection with him for a bit when I was like young, but
Mhm.
I fought some of his shows, and then like the walk-in shows, and then he had one at a bar, inside of a bar, no walkout music. Like I was sitting on a stool, but like they couldn't find anybody with my experience because I was 2-1 at the time. 2 real quick wins, first round arm bars. I had like 8 arm bars or 7 arm bars. It was
Nice.
weird. But and then so this other guy walked out, week out of prison, showed up with one of the guys that actually trained with us, Billy Knudsen. And he wanted to fight. And they're like, Anthony, I mean, he's like 6'2", 170, 172. Is that all right? And at that time I was 16. I was maybe 132 walking around. So I was like, yeah, man, no problem. He whooped my ass for the first 2 rounds. Round 1, I threw a kick, he caught it, and first time I ever been rocked. Hit me in the nose, broke it instantly. The next thing I remember is waking up on my back, up against the cage, folded like a chair. And then we kind of wrestle around a bit, and then I get him in an armbar, and he just rains down punches. Round 2 starts. I go to throw some wild hooks. He throws a body kick, cracks 2 of my ribs. Boom. Started the second round. And then again, we go to the ground and we kind of scuffle and get in him an arm bar, and he just rains down punches. Round 3 comes in. I'm like, yo, man, I can't breathe. I'm a mouth breathing now. I go up, I grab him, I take him down, grabs my wrist, and I just rain down elbows. And then with 10 seconds left of the fight, I choke him out. That fight taught me a lot about what I can endure and what I was capable of as a human being. At 16 years old, man, I love that. So there's that one. And then the one we talked about that that I don't get to watch. That one was because it was my biggest card. It was a real cool moment for me. And that was my first article written about me. I won fight of the night at the casino. You got to remember that moment. And then, of course, 2012, my 12-second Minnesota knockout of the year. 12-second knockout. That one is
awesome.
That one's probably my by far my favorite from my MMA career. Absolutely. And then
that'd be hard to top.
And then my retirement fight, I knocked the dude out too, but it wasn't. It was cool, and it was a walkaway one, like a Mark Hunt walkaway. But it was that knockout when I was 18 years old, man. Because he came in and he was swinging, just and I covered up. I threw a left and a right, and he folded like a chair. Got some cool pictures out of it, so that was probably my favorite one.
All right. Why did you initially retire from MMA?
I moved here to Florida after my knockout, in the one I was in Hawaii, and then I had one more after that. But my brain wasn't. I started to like develop a slur. I guess maybe it was just I just didn't take the time to heal. I don't know. I just got to a gym here, and then some shit went down with the guys here, with the coach and some other people here, that it's just a long story. And I was like, yo, I just got here. I'm trying to better myself. You know what I mean? I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to get the right proper training so I can do this. You know, because of the knockout, and the whole gym closed down, and I was like, yo, fuck this. And I just said, screw it. I guess I'm just going to focus on life. And so I took the 4.5 years off just to be the best dad I could. Cause we lived in my mom's porch. Me, my wife, and my 2 kids lived in a fucking porch, little bedroom.
Jeez.
For a couple of years when we first got here, you know? So like it was real rough when we first got here. So once everything went down at the gym, it's like, oh, fuck that. Then I'm just going to focus on trying to get my family a home. So that's what I did, is I just took the last 4 years, basically, to the next 4 years to focus on and find myself, which ended up being the worst 4 years of my life. So, you know, even though things worked out, we did it, we got our own place, it was still probably one of the worst, unhealthy, mentally and physically, 4 years of my life.
Obviously the reason we have these conversations is to hopefully inspire people who may be going through something like you just described. Anyone who's feeling broken or like giving up. During that 4-year period, was there ever a particular moment when it got so bad that you just felt broken, or maybe like you wanted to give up? And if so, what was that moment, and what brought you out of it as well?
It was the company I worked for. I worked for. I'm not going to get into like the name detail because
Sure.
in the end we had our differences, but they were decent people.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a problem with the company I was working at. They treated all of us like complete horse shit. We worked blue collar. We're out in the fucking heat. They promised us some shit,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up having meetings. And the owner's wife really thought it was okay to look us in the eye after promising us this money, because we even had our first. We were working on this condo. We were working on a condo, and it was supposed to be double pay.
Mm-hmm.
They took a lot of us off normal jobs. We're all on this condo, and we all turned in our pay sheet for the week, and she didn't like the idea that double pay means they were just about to pay each one of us $3,000 per day for the next 3 months. You know what I mean? And even though they promised us this, and we get the price of the pay, like we know what everything's worth.
Mm-hmm.
So that job they were selling it for $1.2 million, and by paying us for them 3 months, it would roughly come around 200,000. You know what I mean? Like, so like we were getting pissed, and she told us that you guys are blue collar workers. You don't deserve to make that much. And like, it pissed everybody off. And in that moment, I was like, yo, fuck these people. I know who I am. And at this point, I brought my MMA career, and I was like, I know what I've done and what have I accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
At 16 years old, I had people treating me with respect. And these random people want to just treat me like I'm a nobody. Like, these other humans aren't nobodies. Like, we're not risking our life on these ladders and shit with these big ass pieces of glass. And that was the turning point for me, when I was like, you know what? Screw this. I know who I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up meeting Scott, and that was it. Now I'm back. I always wanted to. I was training a little bit. I thought a funny portion of that story is during this whole situation, found out I was lactose intolerant, so I had to change my diet anyway. So I went from like 185 to like 170, and then I was like, all right, so I'm losing some weight. Nice. I like this, so I had to change my diet. Well, if I have to change my diet, then why don't I just give this another shot? Bare knuckle, why not? So I just seen they were having tryouts, and we were in Miami for my daughter. And she got invited over to the STEM program at the university. So we're over there, but they had the tryout, one of the last tryouts in Miami a week later. And I made a funny comment on Instagram, and Scott Farley with GOAT was like, hey, I have a gym. You're 30 minutes from me. Why don't you come to my gym and try out? So a couple weeks later, I tried to get into the best shape as I could, just watching some anime dude folding laundry, doing push-ups and crunches, man, in my bedroom, getting ready to do what I could, trying to get back to running, and hitting some tires in the backyard. And then finally I went over to Scott's and tried out, and he's like, I would like to sign you. And here it is.
There you go. Tell me about the moment you got the call that you were going to have your first fight in the BKFC, and what personally did that moment possibly symbolize for you?
I mean, it was pretty cool. I could tell you, it was a cool little story, man. I remember it. Like, I think about it sometimes now as we were getting some offers here and there, and we were like, okay, cool, whatever. And then this fight with Mike in the California, my BKFC debut, I walk into the gym like any other day. Scott's on the phone. Dude's always on the phone. The dude's always working, not even gonna lie. He's probably the hardest working dude I know. I walk into the gym. Me and my wife go over. We set our bags down. We start getting ready. We are usually there early because our kids have class, so we're there earlier than the couple of the other guys. So we get there early, and Scott's like, "Hey, Anthony, come here." So I run across the mats. He's like, "You want to fight this guy?" And he had him up on his screen. I was like, "I'll fight this guy." And I was like, "Cool." And he's like, "All right, cool." And he's on the phone with Nate, and he's like, "All right, we'll take it." And then I went back over, I looked at my wife, and I was like, "I guess we're fighting. Guess we're going to California." And I started wrapping up. And after that, it was just a cool little, like, I felt like it was just the right time and the right moment for where we were at that time. I felt excited, man. I'll always remember that moment.
That's great. I love that. What goes through your head as you walk to the ring for the first time to toe the line?
Man, I've heard
so many different things.
my very first time was absolute fucking excitement.
Okay.
Like when I say absolute fucking excitement, that's what it was to me. Like I was like overly excited. Like I knew like I worked so many years for this opportunity to not bare knuckle in general, you know, because I wanted to be a UFC guy at WC shit like that. But in the end, it was like this is a big moment for me. It was the very first, the second California card. They were still trying to get it there. They brought me to California. I've never been flown. I mean, in Hawaii, I had to pay for that trip. So I never, this whole thing was like, they flew me over to this nice ass hotel. Like I got treated with a media day. I've never got treated like that before. So like, I was just like, man, this is it. Like I worked so hard for this.
Yep.
And then I get into the back, I'm warming up. And I'm talking to myself. I'm like, this is for my bloodline. Like, I mean, I'm yelling, like I'm fucking pumping myself up. I was like, this is for my sister. This is for my bloodline. Like yelling stuff like this is for my gods, like for Odin, you know, this is like shit like that, man. And like ho, like every time I would walk back and forth. And like, so like that for me, it was just pure, just excitement, my man. Like, I
That's
love
awesome.
it. Like just tingly all over the body, bro. Like just pure, like you're ready to go to war. And like that's how I felt for that one. In enemy
Same
territory.
way you felt when the lady at the condos didn't want to pay you?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay.
Because I tried to get up, dude. One of the moments I remember this, man. I knew I freaked everybody out. I didn't mean to. Like I even joked about it with the guys afterwards. I was like, dude, I didn't mean to do that shit. And I tried my hardest not to laugh, but I get fucking pissed, and my legs are crossed, you know, cross your figure four, and I kick my leg down, but I kick a chair, and it fucking goes across. I was like, oh god. I mean, so yeah, dude, it made it seem like I was just out there throwing shit, but I didn't.
That's great. The first fight that I want to actually get into is the one against Mike Hansen. Walk me through that fight and what you learned about yourself that you could use going forward.
We get in there. Our game plan was we knew he'd like to jump around a lot. He did his little back and forth, but we also knew his best punch was his 1-2. We knew he had a solid jab and he had a solid 2. The fundamentals. He had a lot of experience. He kind of had the same career I did, except he was in a different area in the world and different bracket of fighters. But we toed the line, and at that point, man, I just want to rip this dude's head off. I did not stick to the game plan whatsoever. We get in there and I just start throwing. That's all it really was, man. In the moment, throwing, and then like that's all I want to do is just I knew I had to be first. If he threw, I throw. That's just kind of the fighter I am. I like to walk you down, and if you throw 1, I throw 4. I did that with Chachi. Like I like to just overwhelm you. Even every game plan you have, I like to just make you forget it because you're like, where the hell did these 3-4 punches come from, dude? You know, so and I tried to do that with Mike, and it worked in the beginning, you know, but because I was so flat-footed, I forgot my footwork. I got like all that excitement to just drain my legs, I would assume. I can't really tell you, like in the moment, like I don't really remember. But I was really flat-footed, and Mike, after I dropped him, I've never had to. Every time I've dropped somebody like that, the fight's over. MMA wise, you drop somebody like that, you can follow through. Yeah. But if I hit you that hard and I walk away, usually the ref's going to stop it anyway. So I've never experienced that before. And my emotions went from here to here after that. And that's when, if you watch it again, I just started like throwing and Mike, I didn't even hit Mike after that. And all it would have taken was maybe 1 or 2 more. And he caught me with a nice 3-piece and put me on my ass.
So composure, maybe.
Composure.
Believing in myself and composure has always been my weakness. Even looking at my MMA career in certain situations, I've always just gave up on myself. And that was my biggest game plan going against Chachi and forward in my career was my mindset. But I got a team and I got the skills and I got the coach that I 100% believe in now. And that right there is all I need to build that up.
Absolutely, man. May 12th, just last month, you took on one of my favorite BKFC people. We've talked about him already, Chachi Versace. Walk me through the fight with Chachi and what went through your head when your hand was raised.
The fight with Chachi is We had some drama in the beginning, but mostly it was nothing against him on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like Chachi. He's a good dude. He has a good story. He works hard. He's a father.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't beat a man for that, man. He's doing the best he can day by day, and that's all you can ask in a good human being. But I have dedicated. I was 0-2, 2 first-round finishes. My back was against the wall. I went into this fight. Everything he's done, I did not believe leading into this fight, Chachi deserved a pro contract. You didn't win a title as an amateur. You didn't prove yourself as an amateur. I don't know if you're just trying to give this a try and lose weight and do all this stuff. I love your story, man. Stay to amateurs. You took this opportunity from someone else is the way I looked at it in that fight, and that it was like a complete. I knew I had to restart at the bottom of the barrel, but I felt completely disrespected by him, like making the music videos and thinking he really belonged in there with me.
Right.
Because like, who are you, bro? Like, I had more amateur fights. My year 1, I had 9 amateur fights. My very first year fighting. That's more fights than he's had in his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the time. Well, maybe not, or maybe a little under. But either way, like, I felt just disrespected. So I went into that fight like ready to prove a fucking point. Like, my game plan was I was either gonna finish him in 2, or we didn't know how good his chin was. This was one of the people don't realize this was one of the game plans also. Then we toned back the power and we just beat his ass for 5.
Mm-hmm.
That was the game. If we could not put him out in 2, the next 3 rounds, we make it look beautiful. We put on a masterpiece.
Right.
We stay composed. We back up. We make him look as stupid as possible. If I finish him, I finish him. But I fucked up my hand in the first round, the first 10 seconds of the round, which we are cleared now. So we just got to wait to heal it up. The scar is pretty cool. I like that.
Nice. There you go.
Scar is pretty cool, but everything's good. Movement's good and everything like that. And I'm back to, I've always been training, but I'm now back to doing a little bit of just physical therapy with it. So that's
you
dope.
can still pick and scratch what you need to.
Absolutely, my man. I don't have, the only restrictions is what my restrictions do to my hand. Like, so it's nothing like I can lift. So, but it all takes how much can I lift?
Sure.
I'm in full recovery, which my hand just healed real fucking good. So that's awesome. But
when, go ahead.
It's hard for me to finish them. So like, because that happened so early. I'm talking 10 seconds into the first round. Like, it was instantly, because he moves his head a lot. And I check hooked the shit out of him. Yeah. And
Did you catch the forehead or something?
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't like, even the doctor said it was a clean one, because it was such a direct impact. He's like, at least you know how to punch, right? I was like, damn right I do. But because you can see it in the pictures, man. I've had a lot of messages, people asking me, and it's not something I like to talk about. I just wanted to go through the rough part of the process of the surgery and all that stuff by myself, and because you get in your own head. Because on average, man, I walk about 135, 136, and I'm about 148 right now. You know what I mean? So like, I got in my own head, and I'm making my way back down, but everything's good now. So even through that took a lot of my power away and a lot of the stuff. But like I said, we didn't know. We had about 3-4 different game plans for Chachi. And one of them was, if we couldn't put him out in 2, then we just bare knuckle fight him. It wasn't boxing. It wasn't MMA. It was, I was going to go in there and I was going to bare knuckle strike him. That's it. I was just going to show everybody that I wanted to erase the first 2 losses. I wanted to show my footwork, my head movement, my high elbow blocks, my countering, my punching. I wanted to show my IQ. It's everything in this one. If we couldn't put them out in 2, then we showcase everything we have. So that's why. So that's what the game planning going into Chachi fight was like. And then, what was the second part to that question?
What went through your head when your hand was raised?
Relief. Like, I knew, because even though I knew in my heart, easiest way in my mind at that point, I was like, I whooped this dude's ass for 5 rounds. I should win, but you don't know.
you don't want to leave it to the judges. I've never been to the judges' scorecards, and I've never, like, it was just in and out in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to the corner and talking to Scott the most, and then getting to the towing the line and the fight just bloop, gone. So it was just relief to know like everything we put in, me, my coach, my family, my team, especially my team and my coach, man. Like Tamir, Alex, Will, my wife, Bethany, Scott, man, Nate and Thomas and all them, even the Muay Thai kids, man, like everybody put me through the ringer for that fight. So I just felt absolute relief for core MMA as a whole for my gym.
That's great. Awesome. When do you want to fight again, and do you have an opponent in mind?
No direct opponent in mind. There is a handful of guys I know that like are unranked that I know are in my future, just kind of how it is. We're looking at October.
Okay.
Because I said, I just want to make sure I got another 6 weeks before I can make full contact. It's just 6 weeks. It's physical therapy. So we're looking at September, October, probably October.
Okay.
And then opponent wise, I know there's a few guys out there. I know Justin Martinez is one that is an up and comer, not even an up and comer. He's an OG that I know. Probably not it might not be my next one or the one, maybe even the one after that. But I know he's one that's up there. I know
I've had Justin on the show. He's a great guy.
Yep. Justin is. I love. He's a girl dad, man. I love following his story online.
I got two.
Yeah, I got one. So and then one girl, one boy, and then Rambo is one. Is probably one I'll end up fighting. Another one that I think would be a good matchup for me. I don't even know if he's fighting right now, but I know Incline would be probably one up and coming, but he fucked his eye up, and I don't think he'll probably do bare knuckle for a while. He's been getting his ass kicked. But the guy he fought's an up and comer. I might, what's his name? Baby Hawk, Juan Carlos. The dude, what's his the Mr. Squabble, that little dude. He has good at it. He has good energy. You know what I mean? He good energy. But I think maybe somebody like him. I would like to truly get my hand start, like maybe get one or two more and get my hands on even maybe me and Mike have talked about fighting, but we don't want to fight unless it's later on in our careers. Let's see. Top 5 would be a couple guys in top 5 would be nice. Later on down the road, I'd like to fight because some of them are getting older and they've been losing. Like, what's that one guy's name? He's Justin's friend, Superfly. He's top. He's like 5th ranked. Superfly is Wilson. Chansey,
yep.
Chansey is one I'd like to get in there with. I ain't gonna lie. And then later down the road, I've been saying this since I decided to go to the 125 division. I'm gonna have to fight Randall to get the title shot. I'm gonna have to beat Strode to get the title. In my mind, Strode will be the title holder. I think he is just the most complete fighter. But I also am a big fan of G. So we will see how that one goes. That's just kind of how my whole brain has always been, was I think Strode he's very slick. He's fast and he reads well. He's a good bare knuckle fighter. So I feel like I'll end up having to fight him for the title later on. So that's just like a list of people. The 25 division is not real big.
Right.
So like, I think I named like,
that's half the division.
There's another guy I really like that they might put me up against. I don't know. It's never been mentioned, but Zay Garcia. I like him. My wife braided his hair for his first fight. But because he's 0-2. That Dom guy he was supposed to fight, fuck that guy. We got offered to fight him and he wanted fucking $8,000. And we're like, yo, dude, fuck off. Like, and then you back out of the show as you're walking out. The next fight you get offered, that Dom guy can get, like Dominic Carey, he can kick rocks. So that guy is not on my radar anymore. So yeah, probably them like 6-7 guys.
Okay. All right. Human beings don't have the ability to not care about self-preservation. How do you mentally prepare for the physical violence that you know you're going to take in a bare knuckle match?
Mm. Ooh, I guess I just never thought of it, and I think really it comes down to just
Is it
I like
something
it.
you can just not think about?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I think it's pretty simple, really. I guess I look at it like it's just another fight. You know what I mean? Shit happens. Pain is temporary.
Sure.
Scars heal, but the moment lasts forever, my man. You know what I mean? Like, so I think
Hmm.
in the end, the pureness of combat itself feels it enough to not worry about the consequences afterwards.
Okay. Um, how would you describe your relationship with fear?
It's always there. I mean, I feel like we've been pretty good friends my whole life. Like I said, I started skating at a young age. You got to conquer fear at that time. And I
Yep.
think what really got me was a real personal moment in life that I think the first time I really felt fear is when I was younger, and there's a moment in my life that got into a little bicker with my grandpa. I was probably in fifth grade, man, maybe fifth
Hmm.
grade. So what, 11, 12,
Hmm.
something like that. Fifth, sixth grade. And I back talked him, I guess. And he didn't really like, he was old school, man. My grandpa was like biker gloves, fucking white tee, been to prison, fucking, the
Okay.
biker stash, slicked hair
Hmm.
back, Mexican American, Chicano, you know what I'm saying? Is one of them
Hmm.
guys, big old belly suspenders, dude. Like that was just kind of how he was. I mean,
Nice.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of fucking look like his ass. But he didn't like that I yelled in front of him in front of my friends, and the motherfucker chased me upstairs and grabbed me by the throat and threw me up against there, you know what I'm saying? And smacked me and drug me off my bed, and I uppercutted him. Ran
Mm.
out the house crying like a motherfucker.
Hmm.
But like that was my like that ever since that day, fear is really just I told myself if I can defend myself and protect myself and do what I just did, then nothing else in life should worry me.
Yeah.
So that in that moment when I was so young, I mean, I don't knock them for it. Them guys were raised different back in the day, man. They
Hmm.
smacked the shit out their kids. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
do appreciate that it changed who I was and the way I thought as a man and as
Hmm.
a human. So I
Everybody
hang out
needs an
with
ass
fear,
kicking
man.
every once in a while.
Everyone needs an ass kicking every once in a while. And I tell my kids all the time, fear is you got to learn to get along with it, man. If you feel
Hmm.
that fear, that means you're fucking doing something you love.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, do you think pain builds character or reveals it?
Both,
Okay.
both. It's gonna reveal your true self to you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because even though, like, if nobody's around and you go through that shit, and even if people are around, it's still you know your thoughts and everything, and how you
Hmm.
feel and shit like that. So I think it reveals to you the true self, but it also helps.
Okay.
I think I answered that.
Yeah, you
I
did
feel
great
like
with that one.
I felt like I kind of I get lost in my trance, man. I'd like to. I'm a talker, man. Like I come from a Mexican
You're
family, and
fine.
I'm a jibber jabber.
My job is to get you to talk, so we're both doing great.
That's awesome. Yeah, it works out.
All right. 20 years from now, how do you want to be remembered as a fighter and as a man?
As a fighter, I want to be known as one of the most respectful but skilled and one of the originals because it's bare knuckles only about 7 years old. I want to be
Hmm.
part of that first decade of fighters
Hmm.
that changed the game. You know, like right now you
Pioneers.
look at I want to be a pioneer. I want to
Hmm.
be like damn that 20 foot like I want to be that Demetrius Johnson of the 25 division. You know what I mean? Or
Hmm.
like I want to be that guy that my style is unique and like it's exciting and live by the sword, die by the sword. But I want to be known as one of the most technical but
Hmm.
exciting and dangerous bare knuckle fighters there ever was in my division.
Okay. You
And then as a man, just a motherfucker that tried.
There
That's
you
about
go.
it.
That'll look good on the bottom of a tombstone one day.
Yeah, just motherfucker that tried. That's it.
I like that. Um, you seem to have the ability, but based on just interacting with you and the answers you've given to some of these questions, to have a level of calm that maybe some other fighters don't possess. What do you attribute your peace and I guess your stillness to?
Believing in myself for the first
Okay.
time. Like if you watch my first pod to like now, and even my first fight. Sorry, that Dr. Pepper.
No, you're
Yeah,
fine.
I got a Diet Dr. Pepper problem, boys. Nah, it ain't no nicotine, but it's got
These
my
bucked ups, man, they make me burp like
man,
crazy.
I got these bad boys right here. They get me. It's my little
Gotcha.
it's my kryptonite. But
The warmer they get, the worse it is.
oh, I know. Then I drink them fast, and I get my chest. I get a little heartburn and shit. Oh, see, I forgot what we were talking about again.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I wanted to know where you got your inner
the
peace from.
Just life in general, man. I think the losses, my MMA career, the ass kickings, to be able to look the things everyone goes through their shit. That's why I think talking about being fucking gangster, going to jail or anything like that, like I'm very close. Like that was probably the most personal I've ever got, was telling you about my grandpa, and I'm glad, I feel comfortable, so don't worry about
Thank
it.
you,
But
man.
like I'm just one that like everyone has a fucking story, man. You know what I'm saying? Like in the end, it's me and you in the ring and nobody else. A fight's a fight, But
yeah,
it's I think my losses and my experiences throughout my MMA career, and then that 4-year layoff of being completely like a 28-year-old man with 2 kids and his wife just got married. We moved to Florida. I'm living with my mom. Like I was just depressed. I was fucking fat as hell. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was trying to find myself, and being able to overcome that all that shit through my MMA career, and then leading up to the 4.5 years of complete rock bottom. That was more rock bottom than my drug addiction when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? Like I just mentally struck, and then that situation to me, and if I can conquer that, and then now it's like, then I got knocked out twice. And I got knocked the fuck out twice, quick. And then it's like, man, what else can happen?
Sure.
No matter what happens now, I still got a wife at home. I got kids at home. I got a great team. I got a great coach. I got people that love me. The only thing left to do is show the world how great I am. So that right there it allows me, and I was able to do that against Chachi, and just kind of full belief in yourself and the system you have around you. I like to tell this to a lot of people. It's I don't know if I made it up, but I'm telling you, I get high. I say some wild shit, but surround yourself with people that have the same drive and dedication you do.
Yeah.
Or you will never reach your true potential.
Absolutely.
If you do not surround yourself with people that believe in you and work as hard as you, you'll never reach you'll get to a point and you'll get stuck. And, so I full belief in myself in the system. Simple answer, long story.
I love it, dude.
Yeah. Sure.
If you could talk to an 18-year-old Anthony Yost, what would you tell him?
Nothing. I wouldn't want to.
Nice. I haven't got that answer ever.
I love who I am, and I love what I've been through. I would not go back and change a thing, man, because
that's incredible.
When I was 18, my path was already where it needed. It was already on its way. I was winning knockout of the year. My fight career was going the way, like not the greatest, but I was still. I mean, I met my wife already. We met when we were like 16. We met through the fight life. So, man, my journey into this path where you guys see me now, the calm Anthony, the dad Anthony, the fighter Anthony, the husband Anthony, the online Anthony is this started a decade ago. This whole journey of being the best in the world combat athlete, it started so long ago that I wouldn't want to change my life, because everything I did beforehand led me up to be able to get excited for fighting, led me into fighting, and fighting led me into the man I am today. So I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change a thing, man. If I had a chance, I'd be like, let him make his mistakes, man. Let the dumbass do his thing.
Let him learn.
Let them learn, my man, because that's the way my dad raised me, and that's the way my brain is.
I love that. I'm always interested in what fighters like. So what four fighters, any combat sport, any era, would you put on your personal Mount Rushmore of greatest fighters ever?
All right, so I'm just gonna go my greatest fighters ever. Like, to me, my favorite fighters.
Okay.
Jose Aldo, number one. Been a fan, diehard fan since a child.
Mm-hmm.
Loved him because he's the reason I wanted to go to the WEC, man. I was like, fuck yeah, look at this guy. His leg kicks were nasty. His boxing was nasty. My second favorite, man, Jeremy Stevens. Dude's from the Midwest.
The little heathen.
The little heathen, man. I fought, I got to train with him in California. I lived up there. He grew up a few hours from where I grew up. I mean, he was in California way before all that anyway, you know, like we weren't friends or nothing, but we have like my friends are his, you know, we have the same friends in a way, a couple people we know, but he's a good dude. We got to meet him once or twice. And then for number 3, Demetrius Johnson, the little man, the man that puts all little men top of the pedestal.
And most big men.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse. I absolutely love it. And then for my 4th, myself. Because anything other than that, I'm wasting too much time on other grown men when I should be focusing on myself. My full belief needs to be focused on me. I got them 3 favorite fighters that I grew up on. And then after that, I'm the only one that matters after that, my career.
That's awesome. Where do you see the BKFC in 10 years?
Man, exactly doing what they're doing now, just 10 times cooler. Like, I'm talking bigger. They're going to be selling out bigger. I think they'll be in the same places they are, but bigger venues. And then the little cage and these little venues that we've been going to, I believe them will be used more for like a smaller circuit. They're going to have pay-per-view shows for DAZN, which they do. I think they're going to be doing what they're doing now, but just in bigger buildings.
Okay. All right.
They're doing great, man. They're doing great.
These next few questions, as I warned you, are kind of strange. I promise you've never been asked some of them in an interview before or ever again. The idea behind these is to make the professional face smasher more relatable to the regular guy. Everybody has likes, dislikes. I want to see how yours compare to my neighbor, my coworker, just regular dudes. All right?
All right. Let's do it.
What do you like better, pulled pork or brisket?
Ooh, I'm going to have to say brisket.
Okay. If you're ever in Fayetteville, Arkansas, or even near, I'll bring it to you. Let me know. When I'm not interviewing fighters on YouTube, I work in a 23-time world championship winning barbecue restaurant. I will hook you up, brother.
Dude, absolutely love it. We have a little like mom and pop type thing here where they have all their smokers outside, man. Like, I mean, on like trailers, and it's their pulled pork, man. I used to deliver sausage for like 6 months, and I delivered sausage to there, and they gave me some free sandwiches sometimes. Holy shit, bro. Love it. So pulled pork.
Alrighty. Both in their prime, who wins, Ali or Tyson?
I would have to say, from my opinion, I think Ali. I think he's tall, he's lengthy, and yes, Tyson hits hard, but so did Foreman, so did everybody else. I think the IQ and the frustration and the movement of Ali would piss Tyson off. And what we seen later in his career of him getting caught and frustrated, we would have just seen it earlier on in his career because it would have all came out against Ali. Yeah,
I think the frustration factor is the deciding one in that debate. All right. What's your favorite animal at the zoo?
My favorite animal at the zoo? I like kangaroos.
Awesome, man.
But I hate it that the 2 times I've gone to the zoo here, because I'm not a huge zoo person. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not no hippie, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think kangaroos, unless you're trying to get saved, should be in the middle of fucking Florida. I think that's kind of whack. But they've been sleeping every time I'm there. So I don't get to see them jump around and shit. But I like the kangaroos.
Okay. What's the best Rocky movie?
The best Rocky movie. We just had this conversation. I think to me would have to be the original.
Okay, definitely.
I think the original because he didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, everyone thought he was going to, but it shows you that like you can still have a Cinderella story, man, without all the fucking glamour of the belts and everything else too. So it teaches a lot more lessons. I think I like that one.
It's not about how many times you get knocked down. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit. Yeah, I like that one the most.
All right. Again, both in their prime. Who wins, George St. Pierre or Anderson Silva?
GSP.
Think he does the same thing Chael did without the mistake at the end?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he wrestle fucks the shit out of him, and
Yep.
the difference between Chael and GSP is GSP had a very good stand-up game. Like, not saying it was amazing and top tier like some other, like Carlos Condit and stuff like that, but he was flexible. He could throw high kicks. He had years of was a karate. So he was very talented, and he brought a lot more dangers. Because he'll Superman punch you while kicking you in the head at the same, right afterwards. So I think GSP wins.
Okay. What is worse, being stuck in a Minnesota snowstorm or a Florida sauna?
Minnesota snowstorm.
Okay. What's worse, cutting weight or dieting year round?
Dude, I'm a what's the right sin? Glutton. Okay. I'm a real fucking glutton. I tell people, man, because I grew up hungry, bro. I love my mama to death, but nobody wants to eat fucking a bunch of ramen and peas and corn stuck in a bowl and eat it for a week. I love you,
right.
Mama. I don't want to. We grew up fucking hungry. So like now, man, I just
make up for it.
Eating's my fucking. It's probably my biggest sin. So I think the cutting weight part with my coaches and what we did with Chachi, man, I showed up drinking water, having a couple beef sticks at like 130. I woke up at 129.7, took 45 minutes down at the treadmill, went over, weighed myself. I was off by like 0.6, went upstairs, took a shit, came back down. I was on weight. So cutting weight this time around with the right system and the right team, no problem. But it's trying to stay professional enough to diet all around. Like I said, I usually walk at like 35 to 38, and I definitely could have kept my diet on point, and I could have ran and did little things, but I got in my own head, and I like my my pizza, man. I'm lactose, but I like my goddamn pizza, and I blew up to 148, 149, but we're on our way back down. So
there
yeah, I think dieting year round takes a lot more discipline than just cutting weight, because anybody can throw on a sauna suit, throw on some sweet sweat, and sit in a sauna.
Yeah. That takes me perfectly into my next question. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Oh yeah, dude. I'll eat it on pizza. Okay. I'm not one to say what belongs and not belongs, man. I used to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with like cereal. Like when I eat cereal with chocolate milk with two different. I don't ever eat one style of cereal. It has to be two styles of cereal with chocolate milk. So I'm not one to judge on pineapple on pizza.
Okay. Would you rather fight in front of your friends or on the other side of the world?
The other side of the world, my man.
Okay, where would be your dream location for a fight?
I want to go to Italy or Dubai.
Okay, yeah. Australia. Yeah, I talked to a couple people who went to Dubai, and they said it's a whole different world.
Dude, I'm a brown dude with a beard, dude. Bring me to Dubai. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not allowed to laugh at that, dude. You got to give me a heads up.
Oh, dude, my bad.
I'm the white guy with the shaved head from the South over here, man. You're trying to get me head up.
Yeah, but when they announce me, they're going to announce a German-ass last name in YOST. And YOST, you know what I mean? But no,
confuse everybody.
Bring me to Dubai, man. I'm a brown dude with a beard, and I promise to fucking throw some
that's awesome. All right. What do you prefer, coffee or energy drinks?
Energy drinks, unfortunately. It's caused me 2 kidney stones, but what do you do?
What's your favorite?
Green Monster, my man.
The original?
I'm an original Monster drinker.
Okay.
But I've been
Okay.
getting into this. I've been trying to get out of the original for a while now. I used to drink like 3-4 a day. Now I drink maybe one. But I like the guava, the new one
Hmm.
I don't know if it's a newer
Yeah.
one, but it's a 0 calorie
Hmm.
or 10 calorie one, 0 sugar. Been drinking that
All
one. That
right.
one's not bad.
Okay. What do you prefer, talk or text?
Depends on who I'm talking to. Most
Okay.
around I like texting, but if I'm like talking to like my brother or some shit, I'd rather talk because
Gotcha.
we have a good time.
Okay. In your bathroom at home, does the toilet paper go over or under the roll?
Over.
Awesome.
And
Thank goodness.
not because of me, bro. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm gonna be honest with you.
As long
My
as you
wife,
can reach it.
my wife, yeah, dude. If it was me, I get in more trouble for just setting it on the sink than I do flipping it other. Dude, I'm an on the sink
Mm,
guy, man. I want to grab it like I don't want to have to
yeah.
like. Nobody wants to
Yeah, I have
swipe.
to break my back to get to that thing, man. I can just set it down here on the
Yeah,
floor.
right here, like that's why I like the other bathroom because we have two, the hallway bathroom and our kids' bathroom. When I have to like go in there, man, I can I grab it off the sink and I put it on the tub. Like,
There you go.
yeah, man, for sure.
Uh,
Yeah, it goes over in ours. That's all my wife's doing though.
that's great. You are going to go commit a bank robbery. You have to take two people with you, a gunman and a getaway driver. Who are you taking?
A gunman, um, take my uncle. That
Okay,
dude's a hell of a shot.
nice.
And then as a driver, probably take my wife.
There we go. So
Yeah,
you can hassle her about the driving?
absolutely. No, because she's crazy enough to fucking just take shortcuts into places we shouldn't be driving.
Okay. um, I reached out to somebody that we both know today and asked them to give me a story or something about you that I could bring up
All
that
right.
you would not be expecting that hopefully will make you laugh.
All right.
So I am supposed to ask you, why is it that there is a 15-year-old at the gym who whoops up on you daily? Don't be mad at me. You know who told me that, right?
I would assume talking
That
about
came
was a Scott,
Scott.
and
Yeah.
he's talking about his fucking son. That dude, Brandon, is a banger, man. He throws some wild shit. Like when we were in camp, when I started going to the gym 2 years ago, he was smaller than me.
Hmm.
Now this dude goes to school for the year, goes to soccer, comes back, and the dude's taller than me. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of screwy. But when he spars, man, he throws some weird shit. Like you can tell, like he's just been in the gym a lot, man. Yes,
Sure.
why do I get my ass kicked? Probably because he's the coach's son.
Oh, the quarterback. Yeah, here we
Yeah, put me in, coach.
go. There was no disrespect meant in that
Absolutely,
question or anything.
no, absolutely not.
I've got to know Scott a little bit recently. I talked to him a few times a couple months ago, and I recently just went to the BKFC in Texas, and I was at the weigh-ins, and I was there with one person on planet Earth that I knew, and I've been around them 3 times in my life. So when I was there, I feel like I probably looked out of place and scared to death. And
Yeah,
Scott walked up to me and introduced himself and asked me who I would like to meet, and then proceeded to take me from person to person on my list and introduce me. Since then, we've talked a couple times. I know you have a great relationship with him.
absolutely.
Um, he seems like one of the best people in the business. I'm lucky to know him. I know you feel the same way.
Absolutely, my man. He is he saw something in me from a fat and out of shape retired MMA fighter. He saw something. Even
Hmm.
after 2 losses, he saw something
Hmm.
in me that nobody else did. My family trains there. We train every day there. My kids, my wife. Brandon's like my little brother, man. He's like that. He's like my 5th little brother. He's, you know what I mean? I don't even know if
Hmm.
I think I made that number up, bro. I think I have 3. Wait, yeah, I have 3 brothers. So he's like my 4th little brother.
Who knows? You
Who
know, who
knows?
knows?
Who knows? But yeah, it's like that whole family, man. They've really welcomed my family in the darkest of times as we were just getting to the light of our happiness, we ran into them, and it just brightened up our life. So yeah, I love them guys, man. Scott's a good dude.
That's awesome. For anyone who's watching right now that's going through hard times themselves, what message would you share with them about not giving up?
It sounds harsh, and it's kind of harsh, but you gotta, in the end, man, is you gotta suck it the fuck up. And there's really nobody here that's here to pick you up, man. You, like, everything I've gone through in my life, even with my wife around, I did that shit alone. Yeah, I had people around me, but in the end, I quit my drugs cold turkey. I made the decision to be better. I mean, you can probably dictate to this, or not dictate. I don't know if that's the right word, man. I'm not fucking illiterate, whatever it is. But you just, what are you going to get by giving up? You know what I mean? No need to. It's a little unorthodox, and I'm kind of real vulgar and open about it, but I tell the guys at the gym, man, you got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. You have to. That's just the way it is. And yeah, shit fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But that still is no reason to give up.
Obstacles are just opportunities to overcome.
Yeah, man. And I am living proof of that. Not just with my life in general, because like I said, I don't like to bring that up. Not because I don't want to talk about it, but again, everyone has fucking problems. But if you just look at my last 3 fights, I went into my Valor fight, got knocked out in 23 seconds. Took some time off, fought in California, got knocked out in 1:25 seconds. Then I come and deliver a absolute masterpiece against Chachi for 5 rounds with a broken hand because I did not give up. And now my life is just everything. Me in general as a person, when you accomplish things, builds character. So that's, I can keep going on with more and more stuff, but I feel like just suck it the fuck up. No reason to give up. Look yourself in the mirror and be like, shit, I'm better than this.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Be your own biggest fan.
Absolutely. You gotta fully believe in yourself. Fully. There is no shortcuts, man. There really is not. Yeah.
What is the best way for friends and fans of yours to keep up with you?
Instagram I use the most.
Okay.
I do. And it's linked to my Facebook page. My personal page I do use a little bit here and there, but mostly my fight page is just linked to my Instagram. But if you want to follow my career, you can go to my Instagram, and then any other of my links or in my little link tree, and it'll take you to everywhere you need to go.
Don't go to Tapology to follow.
Don't go to Tapology. Don't go to MMA History or whatever it is, or what other ones they underdog.mma or underdog.com. BoxRec, you can do that. That's all right.
Right.
BoxRec's all right.
Anthony, I've run out of questions, man. Is there anything else you want to share before we hop off here?
Yeah, nothing besides I'd like to thank Scott. I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank the BKFC. And I can't wait to keep healing up, and should be back here the next few months. Training hasn't stopped. Diet might have, but the training has not stopped. I've been in training every day still. As much as my hand will allow me to, I'm still doing everything I can, but we're looking at being back at sometime at the end of September or beginning of October, depending on how quick I get cleared.
Okay.
So other than that, man, I really don't have much. I just appreciate you having me on. Let me bullshit, kind of be myself a little bit.
I appreciate you taking the time. Man. Awesome. We've talked enough before tonight and tonight that I feel like we're friends at this point. I hope you consider me the same. I will get this uploaded to YouTube as soon as it's on. I will send you the first copy of it. If you want to watch it, tell me it sucks for any reason, I'll take it down if you're not happy with it, man.
Nah, man, do you post it? I am good. Like I said, I am an in the moment thing. This was a good time to get the proper feel for this video. If people sit and watch it, is to just put it up there, man. There's no reason to edit nothing, do anything. I trust you, and I had a good time.
I've never edited anything ever.
No, absolutely, man, and that's awesome. That's what I love. We talked about it, and even if you did, like I'm saying, man, I am here to enjoy time with you and have a good time, and that's cool with me.
Awesome, brother.
So you don't even have to send me a copy. I will go on to YouTube and watch it off mine to give you a view and like it, just like everybody else.
I'll tag you in the post on Facebook.
Perfect. I love that.
Anthony, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night, man. And I'm sure I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Absolutely, my man. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Catch you later.